Welcome to Unchained here on Pahrump News. I'm your host, Deanna O'Donnell. Well, we are continuing with candidates that are running for election here in Pahrump and Nye County. And tonight we have one for you that is running for Justice of the Peace. When we return, we're going to speak to Scott Oakley.
Sponsored by Want to Tree, handyman, yard cleanup, yard maintenance, and so much more. Give them a call at 775-253-8066. We will leave you with a smile.
And I'm here with my guest, Scott Oakley, who is a candidate for Justice of the Peace here in Pahrump. Tell me about yourself.
First of all, it's great to be here with you, Deanna.
Thanks for being here, by the way.
A little about myself. I'm a resident of Pahrump, Nevada. I am actually an owner of Oak Tree Counseling here, and I'm a licensed marriage family therapist or a clinical alcohol drug counselor. I've been a resident of Nevada basically since 1978.
Oh, wow.
Okay, basically from Las Vegas, but for the past 7.5 years, I came here with my family. I worked here, started in 2010, because my work brought me out here to help an individual and their family, a serious case of mental health. And that's what I do for a living, mental health.
So that, of course, brings you right into the judicial system. Of course, being qualified for Justice of the Peace, that was my little kind of joke there. But let me tell you, so what made you want to run for Justice of the Peace?
I have the opportunity every week to represent in drug court my company under the jurisdiction of Judge Wonker. And I'm allowed to go there as a liaison for drug court for the past several years.
Oh, yeah.
Even before I opened my business 4 years ago, I worked at a place called Serenity in town. And I was able to be the drug court liaison there. That is what I know. I've learned case management through Judge Wonker. I have to understand life-altering events for each of these court-ordered individuals. I have the opportunity and blessing of the Nye County Sheriff's Office to go into the detention center and do mental health evaluations and substance abuse assessments.
Wow.
The attorneys that give me referrals, mainly the defense attorneys, have allowed me to go in there and interview these individuals while they're incarcerated, which brings me to understanding of not only of my profession as a therapist, but I'm able to have that strong compassion for these individuals.
Because you do see a lot of people that are in court that are suffering from mental health issues, drug-related issues. That's a huge part, right, of why they are in front of that judge in the first place.
That is the most serious situation in Pahrump, Nevada, is mental health and addiction.
So you started Oak Tree after Serenity. How many years have you been in business with Oak Tree?
Since March of 2022. My anniversary is coming up this month.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited.
Yeah.
But it's also an exciting time for me to meet and greet the Pahrump people that I live by and I serve.
So if you get the job as Justice of the Peace, what are you going to do with the counseling center?
That is me and my wife are actually co-owners, so we can figure that out if that happens. But I'm concerned because I want to make sure that this is a priority at this time, because I care about Pahrump.
Yeah.
This is Pahrump Justice Court Township. Only Pahrump can vote for us, not the other counties.
Let's talk a little bit about being unique, having that counseling background, and how you would bring that to the bench.
Well, this allows me to help people understand there has to be a component of accountability, but also help them understand that they have to have life-altering events. That's what a Justice of the Peace is. Most people don't really realize what the role of a Justice of Peace is. It's a lower jurisdiction, but it's also a way to help people it's like the gateway to the higher court. You know, I'm so fortunate to work with like Judge Wonker and able to understand that, like, let's talk about business. I have to refer to doctors, okay, for medications. I don't do medication, but just like a court, a lower level court jurisdiction, like I do right now, would have to refer to a district court for special circumstances, especially like felonies and like that. And I understand how the referral process works.
Have you spent some time in the courtroom?
Yes, I have. I had the opportunity several years ago to be actually on a grand jury here in Pahrump for a murder case.
Yeah.
And I was actually had to realize that that was a life-altering change event for me. All the years I lived in Vegas, never once was I picked for a jury. But this time I knew when I walked in the door that I was going to see something that was spectacular, a murder. I was going to actually go out there. And I had to see the sadness, the reality of what happens to people when people commit crime.
Yeah.
And it was, and as a therapist myself, I have compassion and empathy for people. And that empathy that day, seeing that young man at the bottom of Cathedral Canyon, was a very important part of my life to realize that I have a maybe higher calling here.
Yeah, that was a sad case. And let's talk a little bit about your education.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm really happy about. I was able to graduate College of Southern Nevada with 2 associates, one in special education, one in secondary education. I was able to graduate with a Bachelor of Arts at UNLV. I was able to graduate with a Master's of Counseling for Family and Children Counseling at the University of Phoenix.
And then as far as your education is concerned, if you are elected to Justice of the Peace, will you continue some education in that realm with anything that has to do with the judicial system?
I'm glad you asked that question. There is a law that was passed in 2023 that all Justices of the Peace must take a test within 90 days of appointment. And this test right here, just like my 3 licenses that I hold, I had to take serious tests for my marriage family therapy, which is a state license, my clinical alcohol drug counselor, which is a state license. I even had to take another additional test for my supervision role as a clinical alcohol drug counselor. Also, I have the opportunity, because this past year, I was also appointed to the Board of Examiners in the state of Nevada for occupational therapy. So all these combined are the reality of this. The education is the core to any person that's in a judicial role. They have to have consistent CEUs, or continuing education credits. Like my licenses, they're dependent on that. I have to do like 40 extra credits for each license. So I definitely know that in a role of a judicial, there has to be a conduct. You know, I was thinking about that today too as well. I had a sign before I even thought about going for election, a code of conduct.
Yeah.
And I hold that sacred.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your feelings with that and being a judge, your history with yourself and character, morals, your code of conduct? What's your feelings about that?
Well, as a judge or a justice of peace, they hold a very powerful but very honorable position. And they can't use prestige. This is not for political gain. This is not for monetary value. This is not for, it's for the people of Pahrump. Just like my job as a therapist, I am not there for the monetary gain. I'm there because I want to feel and see the people and understand their challenges. Again, I said it earlier, life-altering events. As a therapist, I've got the opportunity to see people have life-altering events. I was in an airport not too long ago, and a person came out to me, it was in a different state, came up to me and said, "I know your name." Said, "Tell me when I knew you." 13 years ago, you helped me through my addiction, and I'm sober now. And I was like, That's what I mean by life-altering events.
Let's talk about outside sources and influences on judges. One of the things that we see is political parties influencing judges, outside sources, popular opinion, altering judges' decisions, or at least influencing judges' decisions. Can you give me your thoughts on that?
The Judicial Code of Conduct states that every judge should be neutral. There's no left or right. There's no political organizations. We can't be representing that. Regardless, just like my job as a therapist, I have to have compassion, empathy, and understanding. I cannot, it doesn't matter what sex, race, orientation, any of that can be placed, because this is a very, again, life-altering event for these individuals. And if I allow any bias, allow any influence from political or anything to mess my judgment up, it would be harmful for that person in this, especially Pahrump, Nevada.
Can you give me some of your views on penalties and punishments for certain crimes? Because under that, the crimes first come into the Justice of the Peace courtrooms, and you decide whether or not they should be bound over to a higher court. Sometimes they're settled right in front of you. Can you tell me about your thoughts on that?
So Nevada revised statutes. I had the opportunity to go to Carson City last year and see the Supreme Court of Nevada. The Supreme Court of Nevada governs judicial, and we have to follow what law states. And if we follow that law, if we break that law, then we're going to be disciplined. I understand that, just like my code of ethics for a therapist. I have to hold high code of ethics. And I have to be educated on that continually, because if I allow that to happen, and especially if I am in a courtroom, then it could mess my judgment up. I can't have family members, I can't have friends, I can't have relationships alter that neutral, fair stance. A judge has to be fair and very concise and have to follow the law. So when a law is being broken in Pahrump, there is a definition of this. And I've seen it happen to where it changes, yeah.
You spoke about Judge Wonker. Judge Wonker has very unique style in the courtroom, often explaining her rulings, her decisions, her thought process. Can you tell me a little bit about what your style would be?
My style is going to be this. I am completely honest, but I also have to be fair. And I have to look at each case as it comes to me. Just like in therapy, I have to look at what is really going on, what is really happening to that individual, that citizen of the United States of America. I have to pay attention to everything that's going on with them. I have to let them be heard.
When you have some upcoming events, because have you had a kickoff party yet?
Well, this is the exciting time for me. You know, I'm so excited for next week, for March. March, on Wednesday, I'm going to the Senior Center, which is a very dear place to my heart. I was able to actually officiate a funeral there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going to Inspirations, where I was able to work there as a hospice chaplain at one time. I'm also going to have one at my place, Oak Tree Counseling. I was also invited to go to the Coyote Den with the owner there, Sue.
Yeah.
Which that was great. That's awesome. I got to meet some new individuals there. Because I have to keep a very confidential role in my personal life and my professional life, which I know that I can bring to the Justice of the Peace, confidentiality.
Yeah. So when are the events? Do you have the dates, or can we look them up online?
We're definitely going to be March 4th for the Senior Center, 10 to 12 o'clock. All right, then on Saturday the 7th, Oak Tree Counseling, 10 to 2.
And then, do you have a website or a Facebook page right now?
Yes, I sure do.
All right.
It's Oakley, J-O-P, 2026.
All right. And really quickly, tell me about your family and tell everybody about Oak Tree Counseling, too.
All right. I have a wonderful wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's here. She is pretty wonderful.
And she is the guiding instrument of my life that drives me to be where I'm at today.
Yeah,
I have two wonderful sons. One lives in Texas, but my other one's in Australia right now.
Wow.
And he will be coming back in a few months, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Oak Tree Counseling is my baby. I opened that up, and I realized that I had a gem. I had something that was going to help Pahrump. And that's all that matters to me, is helping Pahrump.
How many therapists you got in there right now?
I am like Bob Newhart. Do you know who Bob Newhart was?
Yeah, I love Bob Newhart.
Well, I have me. My wife is my rock, but I also have a wonderful intern named Vicky.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I keep it for quality purposes.
And then people can find out Oak Tree Counseling, more about Oak Tree online. Look it up. And
Oak Tree Counseling, Pahrump.
right on Calvada. And what's your Facebook page again? One more time so people can look you up and go to those big kickoff events and meet and greets.
Oakley, JLP 2026.
There you go. Thanks so much for coming by.
I appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Scott, for coming by. And if you are a candidate and want to get yourself on the air here on the Pahrump News Unchained show, all you need to do is message me. You can message me through Pahrump News on Facebook, or you can give a call, 775-299-9992, or a text, and we'll get you on the air. Right now, we're going to go to your Save a Pet at the Nye County Animal Shelter.
Sponsored by 1-2-Tree, handyman, yard cleanup, yard maintenance, and so much more. Give them a call at 775-253-8066. We will leave you with a smile.
Hi, I'm Christy Sigmund, and I'm here at the Nye County Animal Shelter with Remy. Remy was a sweet girl that was surrendered to us. Her dad got ill, and he no longer could take care of her. But we know that Remy is housebroken. She is good with cats. She is good with dogs. She's good with kids. She's just an all-around certified good girl. So if you'd like to come and meet Remy, please visit us at 1580 East Seary Lane. Give us a call at 775-751-7020, or visit Remy and all of our other adoptable animals at 24petconnect.com.
Thanks so much, Christy. And that's going to wrap up this edition of Unchained here on Pahrump News. I'm your host, Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.